let us go to our next guest. I said that he was one half of the People's Main Event, and to be honest, he was one half of the People's Main Event because of his involvement. He was one half of the People's Main Event because he was the lone Montrealer that was really, really high up on the card. And what a scene it was, and what a story it was all week long. And then on Friday as well, we find out about Jose Aldo not being able to make weight. He takes the fight, and then he goes out there and he gets the job done. And it was as exhilarating, as thrilling, as entertaining as we all could have hoped. And in the end, he gets his hand raised, doesn't get the fight of the night bonus, possibly due to the fact that the main event was an all-time classic, or because of the fact that Jose didn't make weight. But in the end, he gets the victory, the biggest of his career by far, over a legend, and in doing so appears to have retired a legend. He is Aiemann Zahabi. He's kind enough to join us right now to talk about it all. Still probably flying high. Hello, my friend. How are you?
Yeah, how are you?
Congratulations.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
How do you even process all of this? You just got to win. You're wearing the jersey of the team that plays at the Bell Center. How far is that arena from where you live? 10 minutes, 15, 20?
40 minutes, 30 minutes.
All right. And you're a Montreal guy, and you just got to beat a legend with your brother and GSP in your corner.
Yeah.
Like, have you been able to process all of this?
Yeah, I absolutely love it. I think I won hands down. I heard that you thought the other guy won, which
Yes.
is odd.
Okay, so let me come out and say it fully transparent. I did upon initial viewing. I don't want to hide from it. I don't. You know how I feel about you and your family. Like I just got to keep it real. I thought he won two of three, but that's not a knock on you. It was a very close fight. Are you mad at me?
You're such a mensch. You're willing to give the other guy the fight. That's how you're out there. You're fighting Aldo.
Yeah.
Ariel Helwani fighting Jose Aldo, and you're like, you know what? Maybe he won the fight.
I'm just trying to keep it real, but that's no knock on you. It was incredible. It was...
No, of course not. Listen, guys, I definitely watched the fight 100 times after. I won round 2 and 3 very clearly.
Okay.
I think because the round 2 got broken up a little bit because of the low blows, which upon review, the second one was definitely not a low blow. People didn't realize I walked him down the entire second round. The entire second round was him going backwards. And the striking was very close, but I landed the more significant strikes all the way to the end of second round. And he was backpedaling the whole round. So I definitely was the more aggressive fighter in round 2. And in round 3, I thought I clearly won also. Like he was winning he only won 30 seconds of round 3. I won 3 minutes of round 3, and I did a lot of damage at the end, and he's the one who he got tired, man. He was broken by the end. But at the end of round 3, I think most people would rather be me than be him.
Sure.
So,
I mean, if this was pride rules.
I don't mean that in like a disrespectful way. I just feel like I clearly won round 3.
100%. If this was pride rules, very easy fight to score, right? If you're scoring the fight.
And then UFC rules, you scored a fight too. I fight.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
There's no doubt, Ariel. I feel like Ariel, trying to mix muddy the water here a little bit.
No, I'm not trying to. I promise. Listen, it came down to that second round, and it was very close. And I need to watch it again, just like you did. And perhaps it wouldn't be the first time that I got it wrong. Who the hell am I? Thank God I'm not a judge. But what about that kick to the head though in the third round? Holy smokes!
Am I the first? Guys, ask your guys. You got any button pushers back there? Am I the first one to get 2 soccer kicks in the UFC in a row? Like soccer kick. Is that like? Am I the first one?
Now, do you consider? Are you
on one side of the octagon? Then I ran to the other side of the octagon, got soccer kicked again. Then I found my footing, hit him with a couple of 1-2s, slowed him down, hit him with another 1-2, stopped him in his tracks. But 2 soccer kicks in a row, not bad. I leave it up to God. I thank God for that. Maybe he saved me from going out. I was conscious the whole time. I had no control over my body. That's why I was fumbling around. Like I wanted to step a certain way, or even my arm got stuck after the second, like the second right hand. As I was like, my arm was back there. I wanted to post it on the floor. It wouldn't move.
Wow.
I had no coordination. And then finally, when my coordination came back, I was able to throw a 1-2 and like slow him down a little bit.
How did you regroup though? Because I mean, most people. Yeah. They're done after that. A kick from Jose Aldo to the head?
Yeah, listen, I'm going to give it up to my brother for us for pushing the conditioning. Of course, I was like, it was the best shape of my life. Like we did everything we could. I did everything possible to be in the best shape of my life, and Frost pushed it every day for me. He made sure I was at my best. And also Mindset Mike, we do drills like that where we go over what's the worst thing that can happen, and we work on the mindset aspect of how we get it back. He always tells me, he's like, what's the worst thing that can happen? I tell him, well, I get rocked or I get dropped. He tells me, okay, how do you get back? I'm like, well, I got to make space. I got to clear my head and I got to win the next exchange. And then I got to win the next 15 seconds, and I got to build back. And then not only did I win the next exchange and then the next 15 seconds, I won the next 3 minutes. Right. So, the mindset stuff really works for me.
I loved what you had to say afterwards about being in the blue corner for the first time and having to wait for
Yeah.
him to walk out. Did that just occur to you in the moment because you were having to wait there for so long, or did you realize this beforehand?
No, I knew before because when they told me I was in the blue corner, I'm like, oh, this has never happened before.
Wow.
But like we know obviously with the all the mindset training, I'm there so much tougher mentally that like I don't have to be superstitious about anything. And my wife, it was the first time back in the audience after a 5-year break after my 5-fight win streak. I let her come for the sixth one since it was in Montreal. I didn't know if they'd ever come back to Montreal, so we got her floor tickets for the fight, and she was ecstatic. And I got to see her on my walkout after the win. Shaking the
Yeah.
fans' hands. I spotted her. There's this cool video made by the UFC where they see I catch her and I give her a hug and everything. It was really beautiful. Great moment overall for me. And it was interesting. Like when I first got the fight, Kenny wrote to me. He told me he's got to get this guy. So
Wow.
me and Kenny spoke about the fight, and Kenny gave me like a whole like breakdown of Jose Aldo, like what to expect, what he does, what his tendencies are, and he also included like what my tendencies are, what my strengths are, and like what to fight for, and like things like that. And and then he told me after the fight now that actually, if anybody's interested, you can go to kennyflorian.com and he can do breakdowns for you if you've got a big fight coming up.
Wow.
You know, you can reach out to Kenny Florian on kennyflorian.com and he can help break down opponents for you.
That's brilliant. And he's one of the best minds. And I loved how you shouted him out. We got him. We got him 14 years
We
later.
got him, baby. 14 years later. You
because
mess with
because
my
you were
mentor, bro,
Jose Aldo,
I will
right?
never forget. I will never forget.
That because you were him, right? When Kenny was fighting Jose for the belt, you mimicked Jose for the entire training camp.
Look at this guy. I was Jose 14 years ago. Now I'm
Incredible.
fighting Jose. Can you believe it?
There was something beautiful about the whole thing because I felt like, and correct me if you feel otherwise, I felt like for the longest time, you were that guy at TriStar who didn't really get the attention. You were happy to be the guy who helped everyone prepare for their moment, happy to be Faraz's younger brother, happy to be with GSP and with Kenny and Rory and whoever comes by. But now here you were, it was your time. In your city,
Yeah.
in your arena, you were front and center, and it felt like I know you've had big fights in the UFC, Edmonton, etc., but this felt like you coming out of the shadows, and there was something beautiful about that.
Yeah, actually, I totally agree with you. And also because I love my team. I have a team mentality. And I was talking to my friends and my teammates before this fight, like during training camp, and I was telling them, like, listen, at the end of the day, I understand that I fight in the cage alone. And nobody can intercede, not the fans, not the journalists, not my teammates, not my brother. No one can get involved in the actual fighting portion. But without my team, I ain't making it this far, you know? Without for us, there's no money in the world I can pay for us, for the effort he gives me. Whatever money I give for us it's a drop in the bucket for the effort and the love he gives, the support he gives, and how much GSP cares, how much my sparring partners care about me, how much everyone comes in and is dedicated for the 2 months that I have a training camp. That the guys they show up to practice. So a big shout out to Xavier Aloui and Tariq Ismail and Yanis Azar for really stepping up for this training camp. They made it to the sparrings. They gave me the time. They gave me the effort. Without you guys, I can't win. I can't win these moments. I can't have these moments. My wife, my kids, my family support, my friends all around me, guys. In the end, I'm in the arena. I'm fighting alone, but I wouldn't be there without any of you. So thank you to everybody.
How close was it to not happening on Friday? Were you worried that
Oh,
this was all
bro.
going to be taken away?
I mean, it was off.
It was
I
off.
mean, yeah, the fight was off because like I didn't know this, but so when they called me, you want me to tell you the story
Please.
or?
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm cutting weight, right? And then like the way I do it is I do tub and then I do like under the wrap.
Yeah.
And I was in my last wrap, and we get the call, and they're like, "Oh, stop cutting." And for us, like, what do you mean stop cutting? And then they told them, they're like, "Well, Jose Aldo's 145. He can't make it to 136." And for us, like, "Oh my God, okay, guys, stop. Aiemann, get dried up and get on the scale. Let's see how much you weigh." So I get on the scale. I'm 136.8, man. So if I would have finished the wrap that I was in, I would have made weight 136. I was right there. And they're telling us he's 145. So then they told us, listen, there's a rule in Montreal, the Montreal Commission. can't allow a fight to happen if there's a 5 pound disparity. So during the negotiation process, like I was in my hotel room, they're like, listen, just start drinking water. You gotta put on a few pounds, or else we can't even make a deal. And I was like, oh man, I was like, okay. So I start, rehydrating and stuff, and then it was awkward because like 8 pounds a lot. You
Yes.
know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't know, it's a lot of weight. And like I just saw like the last week, Chris Eubank Jr. missed by point 0.5, and he had to pay his opponent something like $500,000.
Yes.
And I feel like the casual fans, to them it's just a number. Oh, 8 pounds, who cares? But in the military, they do studies on the soldiers, and they find it unethical to dehydrate the soldiers more than 2%. But what they've done is when they dehydrate their soldiers 2% and they run them through the exercises, they notice that with a 2% dehydration, they lose 6% in performance. So for every 2% of dehydration, it's 3x performance you're losing. Like you're losing 3 times more in performance, right? So I lost 8 pounds more of water. And the biggest worry for us was, how am I gonna like, is he going to be able to withstand or absorb the shots better than me, because he has he didn't lose those extra 8 pounds. He has 8 more pounds of fluid. No, because you lose fluid from all over your body. You're not just losing fluid from your arms and legs. You're losing fluid from your brain as well. Now we're rehydrating. We got the 36 hours or whatever. We're both gonna bounce back up. We're both gonna rehydrate. But because I lost 8 pounds more, am I gonna have less protection for the KO?
Right.
That's kind of what was going through my mind. And in the end, I'm the one who got dropped, not him.
Mm.
So it was like that's what it was. So we spoke with Sean Shelby. For us, spoke to Sean Shelby directly to make the deal, and Sean Shelby gave me a really good deal, and I said yes, man. I said yes. I risked it all. I risked it all. And I want to say this quote because I was saying this quote for the 2 months in training camp, and it goes something like this. It's when God wanted to make David king, He didn't send him a crown. He sent him Goliath. And Jose Aldo was my Goliath, and him missing weight, added to making him even bigger of an adversity. Gave me even more adversity, and then getting dropped in the fight made it even more adversity for me, and I overcame all of it. So like now I feel like people can call me the king of Montreal.
Hey, I love it. I love it. I freaking love it. If this fight wasn't happening in Montreal, like if it was in some random city, do you think you would have declined? I would imagine there was some part of you that's like, I have to fight this fight because everyone's involved. This is my big opportunity, right?
Well, they had me between a rock and a hard place, man.
Yeah.
Like my city. It's my city. I got to defend my city. That's how I was thinking it. And like everybody loves him. Like everybody loves Aldo. Like I get it. He deserves the love. And like everyone was telling me all week, we're gonna root for you, but please don't hurt him. Please don't hurt. Canadians are so sweet. They're so nice. They're so nice. But the moment he had the chance to rip my head off, you see him soccer kick me right in the head a couple of times,
Yeah,
guys. Next
yeah.
time I'm fighting somebody, if you're Canadian, you're gotta be all in on my team. Don't tell me to carry nobody because they're trying to rip my head off out there. You know what I mean? But yeah, it definitely played a role that it was in my city and it was such a big opportunity, and where I was placed on the card too.
Hmm.
That plays a role. Like so many people are gonna watch this fight. This fight could really carry a lot of weight, and it could really propel me. Like if I didn't take the fight, who are they gonna give me next? Was it gonna be as big of a name as Aldo? Who's a bigger name than Aldo?
No, it
Right?
was gigantic. Yeah, no, it was a
Like yeah,
dream scenario. Dream
they had
scenario.
it I was kind of cornered in a way,
Yeah.
but I would say that Sean Shelby hooked it up, and I'm happy.
Did you feel like his announcement afterwards took away from your moment?
I mean, not really. I mean, I feel like the way the fight went kind of had a lot to do with his decision making.
Okay.
Also, like I don't feel like he takes away from me at all. I feel great about that win, man. I feel great to share that moment with him. And when I saw him backstage, for all his fans and everyone who's, like talking bad about me now and telling me I don't deserve anything and
They're talking bad
all that.
about you.
Yeah, people are, really crushing me right now online. And I want to tell you all one thing. When I saw Aldo backstage, he showed me nothing but love, man. And I told him I love him. I told him he'll never be forgotten. He'll always be a legend. And he was nothing but nice to me. We asked him for a group picture, and then after the group picture, he asked me for a one-on-one picture because I'm the last guy he's ever gonna fight, and he wants a picture with me. And then he showed me nothing but love. I think he's a sweetheart, and I don't think he'd be happy, knowing that you guys are, just running me through the coals for
Ah,
no
nah,
reason.
screw that, man. You
Yeah.
fought your heart out. Like ultimately, if it's because they don't agree with the judge's decision, that has nothing to do with you. Hey there, sorry to interrupt. Just want to remind you, if you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button. We would appreciate it very much. And while you're at it, give us a thumbs up too. You know, we've got live shows, interviews, clips, and a whole lot more going on this here channel. All right, now back to the show. You went out there and fought and freaking survived. And
I gave everything I have. My
yeah,
whole heart was in that fight. I was telling everybody all week, I'm gonna leave everything in there. I'm gonna leave every ounce of my heart in that octagon. And I feel like I did. I feel like I did.
it was beautiful seeing GSP back there. Even seeing
Yeah.
some of the legends like Rory back. I haven't seen Rory
Yeah.
at an
David
MMA event.
Loiseau came,
David
so
Loiseau.
many guys.
All
Yeah,
to see
yeah.
you.
Yeah. Listen, you know, people were wondering if I was going to be intimidated by Aldo, but you know, in a weird way, I've been surrounded by so many kings too. Like GSP is a king, David Loiseau is a king, Rory's a king, Miguel Angel Torres is a king, Kenny Florian's a king. You know, I've been surrounded by so many greats. You know, so like, and all these guys think I have a chance. You know, even GSP. You know, I always, you know, my corner is always Faraz, and you know that's for sure. And then the third man is always who I think I need to help me give me that mental edge for the fight. You know, and I put GSP there because GSP thinks I can win the title. You know, and to have like somebody like him, one of the greatest of all time, believe in me, I wanted to put him in there, and I thought he'd be a lot more quiet throughout the fight and in the corner. But man, he was definitely a second coach. Like he was trying to coach me throughout the entire fight, and even backstage. And fight week, he would call me and tell me to do things and to practice some mental things. Like I remember on Wednesday, I was going for a walk to buy groceries, and he called me. He's like, "Hey man," he's like, "I'm gonna do a little bit of his accent." Okay, he's like, "Hey man," he's like, "You know, you're gonna have all these thoughts going through your mind. Never let a thought finish negatively. Every negative thought." You make it positive. You make it positive. I was like, yes, George, I'm gonna make it positive, baby. So you know, he was giving me tips and tricks throughout the whole week. He was super involved, and you know, he's a real mensch too. Like before fight week, he has a lot of things to promote the UFC event, and he called me. He's like, "Hey man," he's like, "What days do you need me?" I'm like, "Listen, I need you Saturday night." He's like, "Okay, are you sure you don't need me during the week because I have sponsorship stuff and I can cancel them?" I'm like, "No, no, make as much money as possible. I'll see you on Saturday. Be there for me Saturday." And if you see him in my corner, he's very animated in my corner, man. He's
Yeah.
yelling, he's coaching, he's screaming at me, "Be relentless, be relentless." You know, he was very invested in the fight.
There was something beautiful about all of it. And I even heard that as Aldo was walking out, you went up to everyone that you could, Bruce, the referee, just telling them how much you loved all of this. Like there was nothing,
Yeah.
no part of you that was intimidated by the moment. In fact, you were sort of like reveling the moment.
Yeah, you know, like my last fight with the mindset coach, I was numb to everything. And he told me it was incredible that, you know, how detached I was for everything. But he told me, he's like, you know, you can still smile. Like you can be numb to everything and still enjoy it a little bit. Like you can be numb but enjoying. You know, not numb and negative, but numb and enjoying. So in that moment, because the first time I was in the blue corner, was the first time I was sitting in the octagon waiting for my opponent. And I kind of didn't know what to do. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just take it all in and enjoy it because one day I'll never be back in here, you know? So I looked at Faraz and I walked up to him first. And when I shook his hand, I told him I love this. And then I went up to GSP and I told him I love this. We should have seen the confidence in Faraz's face when I walked up to him in that moment and like all the tension in the room, you know? And I went and I grabbed his hand, his face lit up. And then I went to George. It's like George couldn't believe that I was taking that moment to tell him that, you know,
Wow.
because George always talks about how afraid he is, you know, even like on the drive there, he was telling me, he's like, "Were you able to sleep last night?" I said, "Yeah, I slept like a baby." He's like, "I could never sleep. I'm so afraid." Then I went up to Neil, I did it. Then I went up to Bruce Buffer and I did the same thing to Bruce Buffer. And Bruce Buffer told me, he's like, "You got it, brother. You got it." You know, so that even gave me some confidence because Bruce has seen a lot of guys in there
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And I did it to the referee. And then after I shook everyone's hand in there, I just couldn't wait for Aldo to get in the octagon. I couldn't wait for the fight to get started. You know, I
Wow.
wanted to live that moment. I wanted to be in there with him. I couldn't wait to tango with him.
A moment you'll be talking about for the rest of your days. If
Yeah.
I mean, if you talk about like a holy crap highlight reel moment, that was it. Just curious, you did say Marlon Vera on Saturday. 2 days later,
Yeah.
I know he has a fight coming up, but it's in just a couple of weeks. Would that be the ideal scenario for you, Chito Vera, if he gets a win in June here in Newark?
Yeah, I like the matchup, man. Listen, it's not a disrespectful call out. I don't, you know, I don't hate him. I don't love him. I'm nothing. Just normal.
Yeah, it makes
Uh,
sense.
I think it's a good matchup. I think it'd be good. It's forward in the rankings. You know, Ariel, what I really want is to just keep you know, moving forward. I think that's for me the most important thing. You know, like let's keep the momentum going. Let's get the Canadians, you know, move down the rankings. I feel like if you listen, this is the first time, Ariel, like in an arena where I'm fighting, I can't hear Firas tell me the time. Like Firas, sometimes he'll be like, "Okay, 3.5 minutes to go," or 2 minutes 45 left. He'll say something like that, and I couldn't hear anything, guys. The ambiance in there, the noise, the fans cheering, Zahabi, ole ole, they're cheering all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff. They're going crazy. It was so loud. Like I couldn't hear. I barely heard Firas on Saturday. I was mostly hearing GSP, and it was because GSP was screaming at me. If he wasn't screaming, I wasn't hearing it because Frost usually speaks very like a normal tone because he doesn't want me to get excited. Doesn't want me to get too crazy. So he speaks normal. But I couldn't hear it at that volume. The volume of the stadium was incredible. The atmosphere was insane. Ariel, were you there live?
I was not there. No, I was home. I was home.
Oh man, you missed something
I know,
amazing.
I know. I felt I had FOMO. I felt it. It was the first Montreal event that I wasn't at, and that's no knock on you. Please don't take it personally. But
Oh,
I was happy to see. I was happy to see the Montreal crowd show up because there was some talk about the tickets beforehand, and the last
yeah.
time they were there, it wasn't the best crowd, and it seemed electric. It seemed like the people, and as I thought going into it, your fight would be the one to bring the most out of them.
Yeah, I think at the end of my fight, we had a standing ovation. We had a
Amazing.
huge standing ovation. It was incredible. And then, like, it was really cool because, like, when I rewatched the fight, I didn't realize during the fight, but when I rewatched the fight, I saw Dana and Hunter there. They were standing up and clapping with everybody else. Like, everybody was standing on their feet at the end of our fight. So I feel like we gave the crowd an incredible fight. I thought maybe it'd be fight of the night. I wasn't able to watch Bilal's fight. I was stuck doing media and stuff backstage. But I'm happy for Bilal that and him and Jack Maddalena got the bonus. I'm proud of them. I just thought maybe like we could have earned the bonus too because it was such a wild round three.
Yeah, it reminded me of Hominick versus Aldo back in the day. But in the end, the Canadian got the victory.
We did it this time, guys.
Yeah.
We did it. And when I was elbowing him in round three and the crowd started cheering, Zahabi,
Yeah.
Zahabi, it was incredible. Like when I first got the call, I told everybody, I'm like, he's a human being. He's got one head, two arms, and two legs, and he breathes air, and he gets tired, and he bleeds, and we made him get tired, and we made him bleed, and we pushed him to his absolute limit. You know what I mean? I feel like, we broke him by the end of the fight.
Well done. Congratulations.
Thank
Really,
you.
really impressive stuff. Again, I still feel weird. It's so many people came up to me, man, about like, oh, are you fighting? Like even at my gym, someone was like, I saw
Yeah.
on Instagram, I thought it was you. I feel like I'm like, I just want to let you know, I don't try to promote this because you are the warrior. I am just a dude sitting here. You deserve all the credit and praise. It's funny.
You're my guy, Ariel.
I know, I
You're
know.
my guy.
Much love.
I'm
And by
happy
the
we
way,
share this life together.
by the way,
Like in the end, we're a team, Ariel. Me and you were a team now.
I know we're linked
We're in
together.
this. You're part of the team AZ. Did you see this meme? This was the best meme that came out. I was dying of laughter when I saw this meme, man. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Ariel, you're part of my team now, brother.
I
You're
appreciate
part of
that.
my.
And by the way, I
We came
watched the
up
fight.
together, really.
I
We came up
watched the
together,
fight
really.
while we were talking, and I think you won the fight. I just want to let you know I rewatched it just now.
Well, I appreciate the vote of confidence now. But if you can do it, seriously though, I would love to
I'm
get
gonna
your
watch
opinion.
it. I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Later, rewatch it. Let me know, and then let me know. Like if you noticed that round two, I walked him down the entire way. And then one thing that I didn't realize this until because I do those YouTube lives, guys. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. By the way, I just thought of it now. But when I do the YouTube lives, I didn't know. Somebody in my chat told me, but it's actually unofficial the numbers that they show you during the fight.
Yes.
And on the UFC website later, they actually compile the actual stats. So Aaron Bronstetter posted the actual stats of my fight, and the numbers were way off from what they were showing you live. The fight was so much, the strikes landed were so much closer, and I had landed a better percentage of strikes. I threw a little bit less, but I landed a higher percentage. And in round two, I landed the more significant strikes, in my opinion. You guys have to watch the fight again and see. And yeah, it's just really interesting that people should remember that the stats that they show you throughout the fight, during the fight, are unofficial.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of
And
course.
they fix those numbers up after. Yeah, I didn't know. I just found that out a few weeks ago during one of my live streams.
Well, people should go check that out. I guess just put in your name on YouTube and your channel comes up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, guys, thank you. I would like that. Thanks.
Well done. Congratulations. Looking forward to the next one. Enjoy this one. You certainly
Thank you.
deserved it. You earned it. And way to represent. Way to represent the
Ariel,
514.
thanks for always having me on the show.
Of course.
Thanks for being a part of the team, man. Okay, you're a mensch. I appreciate everything.
Much love. Thank you, Aiemann. There he is, the great Aiemann Zahabi. Coming up, In a matter of seconds, we have a few big guests, but he deserves all the love. All the love, all the respect in the world. What a performance. And I'm going to rewatch it. I meant to do it last night, but I didn't have a chance. Mother's Day and whatnot. But it was a great fight. And he is right. He does deserve a bonus because that was an incredible performance. And go back and watch UFC 129 against Mark Hominick. Very similar ending, but again, in the end, the local guy got it done. Massive moment. Maybe the biggest moment in Montreal MMA since GSP Condit, GSP Diaz, those back-to-back. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.